You ever seen somebody holding balloons and the wind starts pulling them away, so they instinctively snatch them back in their favor? That reaction fascinates me because in that moment, they understood something immediately. If I don't take control of this atmosphere, I can lose what's in my hands. And honestly, some of us have been letting the atmosphere pull on our lives for way too long. Welcome to Articulated Illustration, where we see things from unusual angles. I'm your host, Dwayne Richardson Sr. This podcast is sponsored by me. But if you want to invest in purpose and build something together, let's make it happen. Today, we're talking about snatching the atmosphere back into your favor.
Word of the day.
Stabilize, to make or become steady, secure, or less likely to change. Because some people don't realize your atmosphere affects your grip, your emotional grip, that is, your mental grip, that is, your spiritual grip, your grip on discipline, your grip on peace, and your grip on focus. And the dangerous part is, sometimes life doesn't remove things from you directly. Sometimes it just changes the atmosphere around you until your grip weakens on its own. You can wake up focused, disciplined, motivated, clear headed, and feeling like nothing can touch you today. Then one conversation happens, one text message, one argument, one disappointment, one negative environment, one negative comment, and suddenly your whole entire internal atmosphere changes. That's exactly how emotional atmospheres work. One setback, one argument, one betrayal, one disappointment, one bad phone call, and your peace starts floating away. Your confidence starts floating away. Your discipline starts floating away. And your focus starts floating away. And before you know it, your whole internal climate changes. That's why this episode truly matters. Because some people aren't losing opportunities, they're losing atmosphere. And atmosphere is much deeper than mood. Mood is temporary, but atmosphere shapes your behavior. Atmosphere affects how you think, how you react, and how you interpret situations, how patient you become, how disciplined you stay. And that's why one toxic atmosphere can quietly sabotage an entire season of your life. Have we ever been in a season or did something that caused the season that you regret? Maybe what you did or what you didn't do changed the whole trajectory of your life. But you ever notice how some environments make you feel inspired while others make you feel drained the moment you walk in? Some conversations energize you, others exhaust you, and some people calm your nervous system. I like those people. And others activate anxiety immediately. I don't care so much for those people, but that's atmosphere. And what's dangerous is atmosphere spread, fear spreads, negativity spreads, bitterness spreads, hopelessness spreads, complacency spreads. And that's why people can enter a room happy and leave emotionally heavy without even understanding why. I'm pretty sure that has happened to all of us. It happens because atmospheres transfer silently. And if you don't know how to reclaim control internally, you'll start adapting to emotional climates that are slowly destroying you. The real danger isn't the bad moment. The real danger is what the bad moment turns you into afterwards. Because some people just don't experience frustration, they become frustration. Some people just don't experience insecurity, they start living life insecurely. And one emotional gust of wind, and now they stop creating, they stop trying, they stop believing, and they stop showing up consistently. And sometimes they don't even realize that it's happening. And that's why protecting your atmosphere is so serious. Because once your internal climate changes, your decisions usually follow. People quit businesses emotionally, destroy relationships emotionally, relapse into bad habits emotionally, overspend emotionally, and self sabotage emotionally. Because unstable atmospheres create unstable choices. And that's why emotional awareness is power. Because the faster you recognize the shift, the faster you can snatch the atmosphere back. And honestly, some of the strongest people you know aren't the people who never lost grip. They're the people who learn how to snatch back control before everything drifted too far away. Now, I want to ask you something that might be truly uncomfortable. Think about the emotional weight you're carrying right now, the anxiety, bitterness, the low grade frustration that never fully goes away. Now, ask yourself honestly, is this mine or did I just never give it back? Because some people have been holding balloons that were never theirs to carry. Anxiety inherited from a household that ran on fear and survival mode. Bitterness handed down through a family that never healed. I don't like your uncle. I don't like your aunt. I don't like your brother. So therefore, I don't deal with them. Limitations spoken over you before you were old enough to agree or disagree. I'm horrible at math. So therefore, you'll be horrible at math. Small things like that, which I think we never truly thought about. And we've been walking around holding strings that belong to somebody else's storm. You can't snatch your atmosphere back if you don't first figure out which balloons are actually yours. So, some of what you're fighting to stabilize, you were never supposed to carry in the first place. And that's a different kind of freedom behind that. Not just regaining your grip, but realizing some of these strings you are allowed to let go of. You know where atmospheric theft happens the most? I'll give you a hint. It has 4 letters. Ah, you got it. At work, one stressful interaction, and suddenly your whole shift feels heavier. Your patience is shorter, you're snapping at people, your focus is weaker, and your tolerance drops dramatically. You can have your whole day planned out. Gym afterwards, working on yourself afterwards. Then one emotionally draining conversation happens, and suddenly your energy disappears. That's atmospheric theft, people. And some people don't even realize that they are carrying emotional weather systems everywhere that they go. They walk into rooms with tension, chaos, with a victim mentality, emotional confusion. And if you stay around it too long, guess what? You start breathing it in psychologically. Some people drain your atmosphere faster than they drain your battery. Imagine driving during a storm, rain hitting the windshield, strong winds pushing the car sideways. The visibility is severely reduced. The road conditions are very unstable. Now, imagine taking your hands off of the steering wheel because the storm got intense. Now, my illustrators, that would be straight up insanity. But emotionally, people do it every single day. Life gets turbulent and they abandon emotional control completely. Now, emotions are driving, fear is driving, impulses are driving, pain is driving. But emotionally mature people understand something powerful. You grip the wheel tighter during turbulence, not loosen. The storm isn't permission to lose control. The storm is proof that you need stronger control. Some of you don't need a new life. You need to get your hands back on the proverbial steering wheel. And you know what separates emotionally dangerous people from emotionally disciplined people? One thing: recovery speed. Think about this. Everybody gets hit by wind. Everybody experiences pressure. And everybody has emotional moments. But disciplined people know how to recover atmosphere real quick. They recognize spirals early. So therefore, they reset quickly. They regain focus quickly, and they stabilize even quicker because they understand one unmanaged atmosphere can destroy months of progress. And they didn't wait for the wind to stop. They reached for the strings while the gust of wind was happening. Life is always going to have wind, my illustrators. That part would never change. Unexpected pressure, unexpected emotions, unexpected disappointment, and unexpected turbulence. And notice, I keep saying these things are unexpected because these are the things that we cannot control. And that does not mean that they are not going to happen. But maybe maturity is learning this. You cannot always control the gust, but you can learn how to regain your grip a lot faster. Because once your atmosphere shifts, everything connected to you starts shifting too. Your discipline, your choices, your perspective, relationships, your confidence. And that's why protecting your atmosphere is not weakness. It's wisdom, my friends. And some of you need to stop waiting for perfect conditions before you stabilize yourself emotionally. Sometimes strength looks like reaching for your strings while the wind is still blowing. If this episode connected with you, share with somebody who's been emotionally drifting lately. And please make sure you subscribe, follow, leave a review, and download this episode on your favorite podcast platform. And always remember to do what's absolutely necessary every day. And keep illustrating your life. Why? Because it's your dream, your vision. Keep the pen in your hand. And until the next illustration, we'll talk later.